let's see what's going on here at this lovely event. First, oh, here comes Patty. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Oh, Pat's doing his walk on. Oh, thumbs up to everybody. Hey,
Welcome all. Good morning, good evening. Shana Tova to all of our friends who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, and our Israeli talent just play a huge role for Intel, and Mobileye and our teams there spending the holiday with their family and friends. But to the rest of Team Intel, we are here and we're going to have a great event together now. And it's wonderful to be back, what do you think, in person? Yeah!
Oh, he's loving it.
In person in our backyard here in Silicon Valley. And a beautiful day today, so let's get started. You know, and as the host of Innovation 2022, I have to affirm Intel's deep, unwavering commitment to an open ecosystem. And last year we said we'd innovate on future technologies in the open. We would offer you choice. We'd help drive industry-shaping standards. And, as we said, we have to make them more secure. These platforms have to be things that you can trust in and build your platforms and businesses upon. And over the next 2 days, we're going to show you our progress, but also look into the future in these areas as well. You know, and we have a ton of news for you
readjusting
today.
here
Hardware,
so I can
software, chip design,
get this in here nice.
Security,
hardware,
new developer
software.
platforms,
Looking
and
more for
everything
the
the
hardware.
industry has to offer. We're going to geek out.
Ooh, geek out.
Did you get it?
He used it again.
Right, okay, all you geeks in the room, if you don't get it, right, you know, go back and check your ASCII coding again, right? This is geek in ASCII, right?
You know what,
so,
Pat, you can kiss my ASCII, all right?
Expected guests, but some unexpected guests as well. And we're gonna have a great show for you this week. You can think about this as a keynote in 2 parts, right? You got me today, and you got Greg Lavender, our CTO, tomorrow, talking about many of our software-first and developer-focused activities. And for those here on site, you know, join us in our innovation zone where we're going to have some geeky demonstrations, get to look firsthand. And for those of you online, wish you were here, but the online experience is going to be great.
Right.
Stay on afterward for expanded coverage, and you don't want to miss
it. So
let's get started.
Let's
get started. We're in this new era. And it may not be quite post-pandemic, but we're starting to see our way
semi-post-pandemic.
And through this period of time, we have seen the increasingly critical role that technology plays in every aspect of human existence. Everything is going digital. How we work, how we learn, how we rest, how we care for each other, how we worship, how we live in society and in community together. In this digital era, we continue to witness the magic of technology, our ability to push forward with innovation, discovery, and growth. And this is driven by what I like to call the superpowers, these foundational technologies that are profoundly shaping how we experience the world, and it creates this bridge from the analog, from the physical to the digital world. It enables us to simulate, to create the digital twin of everything that we do. You know, one of those, compute. And since the 4004, we've just been pushing compute into everything. Connectivity, everyone and everything is becoming connected. Infrastructure with unlimited scale
Internet
of
of
cloud,
Things.
but increasingly with edge, unlimited reach for capacity as well as low latency and bandwidth. And AI intelligence everywhere, turning this infinite data into actionable insights. You know, and I've been framing these 4 superpowers for a while, and then in conversation with some industry peers, and in particular a conversation with Thomas Friedman, the Pulitzer Prize-winning, New York Times author, he convinced me I was missing one. Sensing. You know, and everything that we compute and connect is now
Are they coming out with smell-o-vision?
Able to sense. We see objects.
Because you'll probably be smelling your 13900 cooking.
See, right? Hear things. Know exactly where you are, and increasingly be able to feel, taste, right? All of our senses. And I want an augmented reality where all of my senses become digitally enhanced as well. And even my infirmities, like here's my hearing aid, I'm you know, part of our family, right? We lose our hearing, but now, what did she say again? I know more about you than you think I know. Even my disabilities become sensory devices to make my everyday better. Each one of these 5 powerfully, individually, just changing. But as you think about it, more sensing means more compute. More compute means more connectivity. More connectivity, more infrastructure. More data over that infrastructure, more AI, which leads to more use cases. Right there, reinforcing, accelerating, empowering each other to unlock
It's a self-driven
even more
market.
powerful possibilities in the future. And it also changes how we think about our business as well. And how we think about chip design and the role that we play in this industry. And with that, we launched Intel Foundry Services, a key part of our IDM 2.0 strategy to help meet this growing demand for advanced global semiconductors. And we've committed to a strategy of helping to build a more balanced and resilient supply chain for the world. And at its heart, of course, is Moore's Law. And for decades now, I've been in the debate, is Moore's Law dead? And the answer is no. And with
he's attacking Moore's Law is dead.
With ribbon
he doesn't exist.
Advances in power delivery with PowerVia, right? With breakthroughs in lithography, with high INA lithography, the core of semiconductor manufacturing. With advanced packaging technologies, we aspire from today about 100 billion transistors on a single package. By the end of the decade, 1 trillion transistors. 1 trillion transistors in a single package. And we are on schedule or ahead of schedule on this audacious strategy that we have said 5 nodes in 4 years. It normally takes 2 years for a node. We're going to do 5 in 4 years. Are these Intel folks crazy? No, we are just torridly moving to the future. And our 18A, right, the key one where we will assert as unquestioned leadership, the PDK 0.3 is in the hands of developers today, and we expect our first test chip taped out against that before the end of the year. We will not rest until the periodic table is exhausted. We will continue to be the stewards of Moore's Law into the future. You got
until AMD is in the rearview mirror.
Well.
5 nodes in 4 years.
But of course, to be a great foundry, you got to be a great
Intel says Moore's Law is alive and well.
Continue to work to grow
Papa
that
Jensen says it's
demand,
dead.
build more capacity, work with our customers as a foundry, and we've announced our intention to acquire Tower Semiconductor combined with IFS. We will have a global diverse end-to-end and one of the richest portfolios of differentiated technologies available today as a foundry provider. But our vision is much greater than that.
It's all about the
IFS will usher in what we call the systems foundry era.
P.S. Welcome to the stream, Captain D. Glad to have you here.
To system in a package. And we see a systems foundry having 4 components to it. First, you got to be a great wafer foundry. We're not debating that. Got to be good at that. But second, right, it has to be great at packaging. And even Gordon Moore, when he wrote his original paper on Moore's Law, he foresaw this day of reckoning where we'll need to build larger systems out of smaller functions, combining heterogeneous and customized solutions. And with 2, 2.5,
is it heterogeneous or is it heterogeneous?
This gives us the ability to increase the number of transistors per device. Third, software. And as you're going to hear from Greg tomorrow, he calls it software, the soul of the machine. And we'll take these stable software interfaces that allow you to accelerate your product development and delivery. Open source software stack, the key
I love how he's like wearing a t-shirt to show that he's like, I'm chill, I'm cool.
And we're,
but he has it tucked in, so he's like, I'm still a CEO.
Through a one API solution. And as we like to say at Intel now, software defined, silicon enhanced. Software comes first. And the fourth, a vibrant chiplet ecosystem. And just as Intel has played this pivotal role in standards,
now does this new foundry that they acquired, are they going to be,
and my granddaughter, when she plugs
having
in
this
a
magical
USB
glue
stick into the computer, she says, "Thank you, Papa." Yeah,
that's a little weird.
You may like me, but I care more what she has to say. And once again, we're going to lead an ecosystem to create the standardization
has created
of the chiplet
USB.
Architecture.
Now we all know.
And we'll call it the Universal Chiplet Interconnect Ecosystem, or UCIe, and we already have more than 80 companies who are participating in this
AMD's in there.
creation of this open chiplet environment. And you can imagine something like this. Hey, I'm getting a few of my chiplets from Intel, but hey, I have a few of these pieces that I've also developed on TSMC, and maybe my power delivery components are coming from TI, and I have some of my I/O chips that I'm doing on global foundries. Bring those together, and of course, Intel with the most advanced packaging technology, assemble those together for me and be my supply chain manager. So we're going to bring all of those pieces together, enabling what we'd say is this next generation of the chiplet ecosystem. And let's just hear from a few other voices that are joining with us in this vision.
At TSMC, our goal is to provide an open silicon platform to unleash customers' innovation. That's why TSMC fully supports moving the UCIe ecosystem forward.
The future is chiplets. This is why Samsung supports the UCIe goal to establish an ecosystem of chiplets that will drive the next era of heterogeneous computing.
Because Intel's had most advanced packaging technology. So
with Intel, Samsung, and TSMC,
they're sort of gearing themselves up to be the leader in this.
Silicon manufacturing companies committing to a common direction. And as part of our IDM 2.0 strategy,
so it's going to be kind of interesting to see that.
The fundamental capabilities to enable this ecosystem, but also the next generation of talent as well. And part of our $1 billion IFS Innovation Fund is directly investing in companies and startups and disruptive technologies. And
so I think the future is going to be packaging technology is going to be a big part of how chiplets perform. So
and many more
I think Intel's already got their long game in their sights of leading in packaging design and packaging performance.
Talent much more deeply. And we have our university shuttle program that we've been running with a select set of public and educational institutions to enable them to have modern technology for their classes, training and talent development.
I think
and I've given
the future is small.
An audacious goal to scale
or is it big?
Program, the passengers, the number
it's
of
big
ships
things made of small things.
100x. Working with 100x. Did you hear that again? Right, 100x increase in our shuttle capabilities.
Please clap.
Professors, researchers, students, all of them being trained on the latest EDA tools and having access to shuttles that they can be sending their chips to manufacturing on the most leading process technologies in the industry. And I think of this just like when I did my first DRAM design and sent it to Moses for manufacturing.
It's kind of interesting,
40 years ago, but we want
how they're partnering with TSMC, aka they're one of their hottest competitors in the past as far as process.
Talent flow of tomorrow. This is our commitment to the future of the semiconductor industry. Switching gears, another passion of mine has been in this area of graphics and accelerated
computing. We're gonna hear Arc here.
And we've been delivering integrated
Arc
graphics for decades.
Arc 770.
But
here we
we've
go.
also known for decades that high-density computing,
come
high-performance vector, matrix, the highest bandwidth requires a different solution as well. And this area of HPC has ushered into AI, machine learning, and
so excited.
Graphics technologies like
it's not going to be Arc.
And personally, I've been on this journey for 16 years. When I left Intel 12 years
I know.
ago,
it's like, wait, he's delaying it until the end
of
the presentation.
Well, I'm back, and we're now going to get it done.
Ooh. We're going to get it done. That's right. You better clap. I'm putting my hands together like an innovator.
That, I'm delighted today to announce our GPUs. We got not one, but three of them to describe today.
Here we go.
The first GPU is our Intel Data Center GPU Flex. And this product, pixels are growing exponentially.
I see an Arc one there. I see an Arc one there. He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Media transcode, cloud gaming, inference and training, and AI. And this is industry's first hardware-based AV1 encoder for a data center GPU, delivering more than 30% bandwidth savings or more streams per platform, however it's monetized by the cloud provider. Open and full stack API access. And today,
pixels growing exponentially.
One API,
that
of course,
means
but enabling frameworks
8K
like
is the future.
TensorFlow, OpenVINO, and PyTorch as well. GPU Flex.
He's flexing his GPUs. Oh, there's Raj. It's
But
like,
of course, the first cousin of big AI and data centers, high-performance computing.
ooh,
And this is our Ponte Vecchio, our
ooh, it's
flagship
liquid cooled.
high-performance
I like it.
GPU that uses our most advanced IP, really setting the pace for our most advanced packaging technologies, petaflops of performance. And together,
Nice
Ponte
package,
Vecchio,
Pat.
along with our Sapphire Rapids HBM, our fourth generation Xeon, right,
Very nice.
is the computing brains behind the Aurora supercomputer. And together we're delivering these blades right now to Argonne National Labs to build the world's highest performance supercomputer.
Just chuck these chips down here.
But where did it all begin? You can't talk about GPUs without talking about gaming.
Yes!
And for a long
Here
time,
we go. Arc.
we've been seeing that
Come
the
on.
average price of GPUs is right in this, $200-$300 range. But what's happened the last few years? They've just gotten super expensive. And we don't think
Oh,
they need
value.
to. Today, we're about to fix that.
Oh.
And we
A770
are,
for
with gamers,
$100
delivering and
US.
hearing the complaints of high prices. So you should be frustrated because you are losing out as the gaming community. And today, we're fixing that. Here is the Arc 770.
Here we
This is our
go.
top-end gaming desktop GPU packed with features.
Okay.
Delivers 65% better peak performance in ray tracing versus competition. We've come a long way. Let's take a look at the A770.
Okay, here we go. A770. They did it. They beat Artemis with their launch. Interesting. No, he didn't. There's a lot of asterisks after that 65% better. October 12th. There you go.
I'm excited too. I'm powering mine up. Hopefully this next
Same
weekend.
day
It'll
as
be available October 12th,
Nvidia's.
starting at $329 price point. And
$329
the cards are on the way to our
USD.
reviewers right now.
Okay. It's not terrible, but what's the performance like? Where's the
So I
performance?
hope you're excited. I know I sure am. And you're all here at Innovation because you share my passion. The shared passion to continue to innovate, to continue to use technology as a force for good, to serve the technologists on the front lines, and
So
to use
$450
technology
Canadian
to solve today's biggest
launch price.
problems. And we've been around for a little bit over 50 years. And we're the company that put silicon into Silicon Valley.
It was supposed to
and I
be.
remember as a young technician, when I walked into Intel, I was so impressed by the technology leaders that they were there. I thought I had entered the sacred place, going into the temple of technology, where everyone was maniacally focused on what technology could be and how it truly could change the world. And with that, I want to bring on stage a young, bright technologist who embodies that passion to harness technology as a force for good. Ria Chereview, graduated high school at 11, started working at Intel as an intern at 14, the same year she received her undergraduate degree from Harvard. She's
wicked
a
smart.
whopping 18 years old today, the same age I was when I started at Intel. And you can imagine, on stage, I am now the underachiever. Please join me in welcoming Ria to stage.
So it's like roughly the same price as a 6650 XT.
Hi, Pat. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here today.
Well, thank you, Ria. And like I say, boy, it's not often I feel like I am just like an underachiever starting at 18. Man, you've done incredible things already.
Thank you.
So tell us what you're working on now.
Oh, absolutely. So right now, I'm an AI ethics lead architect. My goal is to develop technologies that help make AI more responsible, trustworthy, and ethical.
Well, you and I have talked about the importance of taking on challenges, and not being afraid to fail. So
Well,
what do
compared
you
to
think?
3070 list prices
Absolutely.
right now, it
I'm
is
ready to
good.
take these on head on
But
and solve them. So
I would say
Okay.
as far
So,
as
let's talk about this vast
I don't know,
community, this
as far
vast
as say
universe
like
of tools and technologies we're making available to
as far as like
innovators and developers like you, Ria, and how we want to
the
continue
used
to
market,
provide easy,
it's still
affordable
actually not
access to the latest
terrible.
stuff. And we
But
want
like
to
yeah,
help you get your hands into it without
453
downloads or tough
Canadian,
hardware
right?
setup. And so to that
So
end, right, and you'll hear more about this in Greg's session tomorrow, right,
you
the
look at
Intel Developer
let's see, what
Cloud,
does
giving
EVGA got
developers
on theirs
access
right
to
now?
new and forthcoming hardware solutions for pre-launch
See,
development
EVGA
and testing.
3070s.
absolutely. And I think my
They
peers
usually
are
have
ready to
a
get their hands on this
nice little
technology and start
discount
innovating
on
with it.
them.
Yeah, and we're
569.
expanding
Yeah,
our
it's still
Intel Dev
significantly
Cloud
cheaper.
experience. We're not trying to compete with the Amazon, Google, and Azures of the world, but to win your
Intel
hearts
10
and
years
minds
behind
with early access of the latest great technologies that we're
in
working
ethics
on.
or
And
AI.
today,
Which
the
one are they
Intel
behind 10
Developer
years in?
Cloud is limited beta to select and pre-qualified customers, but our objective is to
Some people would
expand
argue
that
ethics,
significantly
but
to
I think they're
developers
they're
over
doing a
time
little bit better
for
these
their
days.
platforms
First
and to
one,
enable
then
the
the other.
scale of this service in the future.
Absolutely.
And as part of this trial, we're putting the latest and greatest stuff out there. And you'll have access to our latest technologies.
Yeah, the AI.
4th gen Intel Xeon, also known as Sapphire Rapids, to Habana Labs Gaudi 2, right, to our advances in IPUs and our NEX technologies. And this is
finally.
just the beginning. And you'll get updated this week in the full set of things because we want developers to have access to the latest and greatest.
Oh, awesome. And I know that there's a lot of AI developer kits, software kits, reference implementations out there for developers to get their hands on and use right away. So, yeah.
So today, what I want to do here, Ria, if you're okay with this, we're going to set up a handful of challenges, and you're going to help me solve those challenges today.
Arc 770
along this
finally
journey, we're going to
releasing
meet a few
October
other
12th.
technologists, then we're going to tap into the open ecosystem, choose the right tools, and we're going to use it to build responsible solutions to today's problems. So, you game?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
So, our first challenge, speed up development cycles. And one of the great debates over the history of technology has been this open versus closed, proprietary, protected gardens versus the open marketplace. And since the days of Grove and Gates and Jobs, this has been pervading the industry. And we believe that this idea of the persistent, expensive closed environments, we are the champion of that open marketplace, and we are back.
Intel's the
John
champion
from
of
our
the
demo
open
team is
source.
here to help us talk
Hold
a
your
little bit more
horses,
about this
AMD
challenge.
fans.
All right. Awesome. Great to meet you, John.
Thanks, Pat and Maria. So the challenge is really speeding up development cycles, and I have a tool that I think can help us with that. The Neural Coder, which is a new feature of the Intel Neural Compressor, is a one-click, no-code solution that removes hard-coded CUDA references from our deep learning scripts. It optimizes those scripts for performance. And it benchmarks those optimizations for the best possible deployment options. Let's take a look at how easy this really is. So on the screen, you can see we have an image classification workload running. We're going about 300 frames per second with that. Ria, you want to try the Neural Coder and see what kind of impact it can have?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
So all I'm going to do here is go ahead
And
click the run button,
looks like it
run.
crashed.
Is it that simple?
No, I'm just
That was
kidding.
pretty simple, right? Let's take a look at the Neural Coder output. So the Neural Coder has now optimized our deep learning model from FP32 to int8. And it's really leveraging the Xeon scalable processor with Intel Advanced Matrix extensions.
That's fantastic. So what's going on with the performance?
It would be hilarious
so
if
let's take
it
a
be
look at the
solid.
image classification workload again. We're now running at about 3,000 frames per second, which is a 10.8x speed up, really leveraging that built-in acceleration with the Xeon scalable processors.
That's looking good, John.
It's so much faster. Look, it's moving faster. But now what?
Right, perfect. So I'm wondering here
Just
then,
awkward
with this type of
pause.
one-click optimization, everything's good
My
to
line?
go and
Your
all
line?
easy to use.
Line?
Yeah,
Perfect.
so maybe we can start talking about security now?
All right.
Well, one of the things is that,
It went so
security,
fast they
right,
lost track of where they
enables
were.
the, ability for us, right, to protect our models, to protect our data. And with that, how can we make sure
Intel
all this
cares
model
about
work that we
security
do
more than
is actually
anything
useful
else.
and the data
You know
protected
that.
around it? So can you solve that problem for us, John?
Yeah, let's take a look at this over
Yeah,
here.
John,
Let's
you're
make
a smart
security a
guy,
little bit
huh?
more
Can
simple.
you solve that for us?
Confidential computing with Intel SGX protects your data in use. And here we've downloaded a curated container, and we're going to leverage the Grameen Library OS project, which with a simple script and answering a few prompts, you can protect your data in use. So you want to give this one a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is another one of those one clicks. Going to go ahead and click here and cycle
One of
through
those
these
one-click
syntax.
wonders from you, huh, John?
All right. Says it's being created.
Awesome. So all this data that we're using over here, you can now
But
see
there
on the
wasn't a-
screen that we've
a
protected
ding.
that data.
Amazing.
Look at-
So this is confidential computing.
It
My
turned
container
everything
is
into
SGX
locks.
enabled. I've got protections
Now
for
you know
my
it's
data,
secure.
And I'm all set when it comes to that.
Great. Optimizations and security.
All right.
So, very good. It's great to see that we're starting to get real traction from the open source community
And
to
from the
take
lock
advantage
community.
of these confidential computing capabilities. And, we're working to enable a holistic view of confidential computing. In Project Amber, which we'll talk about tomorrow, a third-party trusted attestation service, which Greg will talk about. So we saw the full pipeline today, right, coming to place, right, what we're doing with AMX as part of our Intel 4th Gen Xeon to accelerate, right, on the CPU as well as on GPUs, the capability, right, making it, complete and protected with SGX, but we're also working on tomorrow with TDX, our trusted
I'm
domain
very,
extensions,
very
which will
curious
additionally
to
provide
see how
secure enclave
that
at the VM
A770
level without
competes
requiring
with
application
a
change.
3070.
So this helps everyone to have more trust in their AI and in their data. So Ria, I think we've covered, and we can
And
call
also to
this
see the
one
ray tracing
complete our
performance.
challenger? Okay.
High five. Now leave. Where do I leave
So-
from? No?
Let's get to our second challenge of the day.
Oh.
So we saw that we can do them faster, but how do we make them more relevant to the marketplace, these AI models that we're doing, and advanced, without requiring an advanced degree in AI modeling? Do you think we can do that?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
So for this demo, we're going to come over here to this side, and joining us on stage is Giannis from our computer vision and AI team. So Giannis?
Pat Bruslinger procrastinating on the Raptor Terms launch. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So, today we're going to talk about AI model development. And this is still a very slow and expensive process. Even then, only a fraction of the models make it to production. Why is that? There are several reasons, but the main reason we see is that domain experts are left out of the loop. So when we hand the model over to them, it may have drifted, making it unusable.
Oh, absolutely. I've
Nobody
seen these
talks to the
issues
experts.
all the time. Accuracy drift, poor inferencing quality, and then there's also problems with the outputs of AI systems. And I'd also like to see a lot more collaboration between domain experts and data scientists, really drive those collaborations, get to higher quality models faster. So you have a solution here for me?
I have good news for you.
Okay.
AI is
Apple
going to
has built
force them to
an
work
intuitive
together.
computer vision platform that enables anyone on enterprise teams to collaborate and build models very efficiently. Let me show you an example. This is the image of a coffee plant, which is behind the $400 billion industry.
Well, coffee's pretty important to me, right? Enough coffee, all things
I
are
love
possible.
Java,
Yes, and we
just
pay
like
developers
just
to
like
turn
everybody.
caffeine into code. So, we want to help those coffee farmers to use AI to build models that can predict the maturity of the crop. This is why they can maximize the yield. So let me show you how you can build a computer vision model to do that. So we have this project here, and I have already uploaded
I hope they're
some
using
images.
JavaScript
So
for
let's
these
go and
models.
open it.
All right. So a question here. I can only see a couple of images, but in a typical computer vision workflow, we'd probably need tens of thousands of images for this step.
Well, that's a thing of the past. With this software, we are using a technology called active learning to drastically reduce the amount of training data that a system needs to train. So let me go ahead and open this image here.
See how many
And
times you had to touch
I
it?
will select one of our annotation tools, and I will draw a bounding box with my stylus around this yellow fruit, which is immature, this orange one, which is semi-mature, and this red one, which is mature. And when I submit those annotations together with some other annotations we did earlier on, the system will start a new training round.
All right, perfect. So what happens after training?
Well, it's going to take a few minutes for the
It
training
takes
to
over the
complete.
world.
So for now, I have already created a project. And I will go and open a previously unseen image. Let's do that. What do you think, Ria?
Okay, this model is doing really well on this image. I am seeing a couple of erroneous and misdetections, though.
You're right. You can improve this model by correcting those misdetections. So would you like to try out?
All right, on the fly. Okay,
Correct
perfect.
them.
So I'm going to start with deleting this little leaf annotation, and then I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the quick selection tool. This one looks over mature, and this one looks mature to me. All right,
You're
I'm
a
done.
coffee farmer already, Ria, or an AI expert. Which is it? I'm not sure.
Probably the AI expert. Because,
Both.
But yeah, I mean,
I use my
need that
AI
technical
to
expertise, though, be
capture
able to do
coffee
this,
farms.
type of labeling, but this is how we can get them in the loop and then make sure that we converge to
Oh,
better
man.
models quickly and faster. Is that right?
Yes, and the most important part is that
This is
once your model is
kind of a
trained,
weird-
it can be optimized with OpenVINO and deployed across different types of
I don't know.
hardware at the edge or
Like,
in your
it's
data
cool.
centers.
Amazing. Pat, I love this technology.
Well, Giannis, thank you for joining us and showing off. This is incredible progress.
But it's
Thanks to the team. Thank you.
And it's a real demonstration of how Intel is building practical, useful ways to deploy AI. And today, we are launching Intel Getty, powerful AI for everyone. And what you've seen here is this new computer vision platform lets
Get
anyone in the
intelligence.
enterprise teams build computer
Or get
vision models
intel.
rapidly. I mean, quite amazing.
The more you
We made
get,
it- oh,
the
no,
more
we
you
can do it with
save.
small training workloads, and this is now commercially available in Q4 of this year, enabling enterprises to digitally transform and mainstream AI easily into their operations. A true breakthrough. Are you
interesting.
excited? Okay, there we go.
Please clap. They need an applause
now
sign
we
above
have,
the
right, how we
thing here.
create the AI models, but of course then our deployment of AI. And this is where OpenVINO has been extremely well accepted by the community and running on this range of Intel hardwares, a fast deployment, creation, deployment to complement Intel Getty. Hundreds of thousands of developers
You gotta
using
Getty it.
OpenVINO today. And we have an in-market example to show you here today. Please join me in welcoming VP of Operations of Precitaste, a Vision AI food management platform, Hauke Feddersen. Hauke?
Thanks, guys. How's it going? I'm really tall.
Hey, Pat, I hope you're hungry because the next live demonstration will take us into a restaurant.
Ooh, okay.
We help professional kitchen crews by eliminating manual estimation tasks. Our valued customer, Chipotle, focuses on enhancing the customer and the crew experience. Vision AI tells them how much inventory they have at hand and what to cook when to always serve the freshest food and to never stock out. All of this is running on the edge in the restaurant on small form factor.
Oh, you
edge
can use this
devices
to win
like
those
that
jelly
one.
bean counting
We chose
contests.
OpenVINO because other
It's
companies
very useful for that.
inference-only edge solutions always just focused on the inference and neglected the CPU-intensive workloads that we need to run in the background, like databases.
Okay, that sounds great. So one of the first problems, though, that I'm encountering,
Now I want Chipotle.
and I'm thinking about
Thanks,
that you may
Intel.
experience as well, is
And not
how do you
providing
know how
it.
much compute you need and whether or not to use the Intel CPU or the GPU?
Great question.
You should just
OpenVINO
use the
opens up
AMD.
a
I
huge
mean,
variety of
yeah.
devices for us to choose from. When we pick a device, we benchmark it to verify that it has enough performance for this and future use cases, and then we deploy it. Then it's actually the auto-optimization plugin in OpenVINO that makes the decision whether to run our model on the CPU or on the integrated GPU. And the best part is, with each generational upgrade, our customers get so much more performance out of one edge device. The generational jump from Gen 11 to Gen 12 took us one afternoon, and it resulted in 30% more frames per second for our application.
Amazing.
Well, hold that thought. I mean, that's pretty powerful. Right?
If only their generational uplift was
essentially,
30 frames per
OpenVINO
second in
allows you to
gaming.
not worry about the underlying hardware, right? And allows you to be, taking, advantage of these capabilities. It's like having a world-class performance engineer standing by your side as you're deploying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see it in action.
Yeah, Pat, why
In the
is AMD out
restaurant,
of your
we have
rearview
those
mirror?
Intel RealSense cameras mounted above the make lines, seeing the food in real time all the time. And we use the OpenVino to detect.
I believe that
performance
fresh
of
tomato
each of those
salsa
pans
is
for
called,
a dynamic region of interest.
what's it called?
Then we use OpenVino to classify the ingredients to know what we're looking at, and we use the stereo sensing from the
Shoot, what is it
RealSense
called
to
now?
tell us how much we're looking
I
at.
knew it,
Right, so that's a lot of models that are in
and I
like,
forgot it.
part of a
Ah,
workflow. So
the joke
how
is
is OpenVINO
past.
helping you here with like this much compute?
We're running multiple applications on just very few of these edge devices in the restaurant, from what to cook when, to digital prep, to freshness monitoring,
Pico de gallo.
and order
That's
accuracy
it.
verification. For that, we need tracking performance. And careful quantization at OpenVINO gave us a speed up of 2x. We're now running live inference from 2 vision streams on just one edge device.
All right, so
Whoa.
your performance engineer has a question, or your temporary performance engineer. If we switch around those pans, how are the depth sensors going to react?
Let's do it.
Challenge.
If I take out one pan
All right.
and shuffle them around a bit, we can see that the AI is orienting
it
itself
knows now.
again and knows exactly how much food is available.
Not bad.
And if I start serving this delicious salsa, dig in, dig in.
Oh my gosh, Pat, settle
like
down.
salsa.
The inventory depleting.
Those
and
aren't
the crew
those aren't
speeding up
TSMC chips.
to,
Chill.
replenish so that the restaurant never stocks out. Chipotle is using this computing one-stop shop to scale their amazing operations. But don't take my word for it. Hear it from Chipotle.
Let's hear it now.
Hear it from
Hey
Chipotle.
Pat, hey Ria, and everybody at Intel Innovation. By utilizing Intel technology in our innovation center and test markets, we've seen a real improvement in operational efficiency. The combination of the full Intel architecture and OpenVINO software has alleviated manual tasks for our crew and given managers the tools they need to make informed, in-the-moment decisions. By deploying Intel's RealSense and OpenVINO technology, we created a powerful and versatile AI solution that addresses
He does
our
look
unique
like someone
needs
who has a
while
gun
connecting
pointed at
the
him.
entire infrastructure of the kitchen. We're
I'm
excited
not
with the
reading
results we've
this
seen in our
under
test market,
stress or
and are
duress.
aiming to fully
Ah, that
deploy
guacamole
Intel
was extra.
technologies
I
across
know.
Chipotle restaurants in a large market
always
in the
extra.
coming months. I'd like to thank you all, the true creators
I
and
am in good
innovators
health,
this space,
and
hope
they
you
are
have a great
treating me
show.
well. So wonderful.
Thank you to Kurt. My family loves Chipotle, and now it'll even have Intel inside Chipotle, so we can go there more often.
Absolutely. And with this delicious demo, I can say this challenge is complete.
All right.
All right.
Extra hot chips at
So
Chipotle
let's move to our next challenge, if you would.
with
game
Intel
development.
at Chipotle. Oh, game development.
So,
This is
modern games
interesting.
are complex. They have, interactivity, lifelike graphics, complex characters, story development, immersive experience. And these are big, expensive development and production operations to bring them to market. This is a lot of work to get done. And to talk
Okay.
about that, I've invited on stage today a world-class game developer, Inflection Games, right, who's striving to bring a realistic, immersive gaming environments onto the PC. Please help me in welcoming Sarah Mainwaring to the stage. Sarah?
Do, do, do,
Good to meet you. Hi, Ria. Good to see you.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody?
So I'm from Inflection Games, and we are creating Nightingale, which is an online multiplayer survival crafting game. And when we're working with
Interesting.
a multiplayer game that's online, we get networking bugs. And these can really tie up our development schedules when we try and debug them. And whilst we're very good at doing this, sometimes we don't have any shortcuts. So when we are doing our debugging for these issues, we are connecting multiple clients on a single machine
Such
in
a
the
quiet
editor,
talker.
usually with a test level. And so here's the test level I wanted to show you
Oh,
today.
that's beautiful. Looks immersive. Am I hearing birds?
Looks
There is
immersive.
a little bit of birds coming out, yeah. And so
I feel like I'm standing on a rock right now.
We used to debug anything in. This is a real Nightingale player level running in Unreal Engine 5 on this rig. And usually we would be working in a test level that's very small, contained, very empty, so that we can really drill down to what the problem is. But sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes there is a bug or an issue which only shows up in player-facing levels. And then we run into problems because we have to run these very high-fidelity, dense levels directly on our work machines on a game which is only optimized to run one client on one machine at any one time without the editor even attached.
Absolutely.
And so you can see that we've got some pretty good performance going on here. It's really nice and smooth. It's looking real beautiful. On my workstation, back at work, this would be what we would be getting in the editor. But we wouldn't be able to connect more than one, maybe two clients before the frame rate just drops off. But on this wonderful workspace, we've not only got one going, oops, excuse me, give it a little punch there. No problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my keyboard is not working.
Oh, no.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what I can do.
Technical difficulties.
Yep, my keyboard is not working, unfortunately, so I can't tab to, oh. Okay, so we're switching over to some backup images, but you'll see. So we switched over to some images here.
It's real.
It's real, yeah. It's development problems. And so what you can see
I think,
here,
Sarah, we found the bug.
yeah, we found the bug.
Okay, good.
But what you can see here is that
There we go.
we are running.
What you hiding behind your back there, Pat?
These instances
What you
all at
got?
the same time with the same frame rate. And it performs wonderfully. And actually in back, when I had a bit of downtime, I tried 8. And I was able to run 8 of our game instances, which are only optimized for a single on the client at any one time. And yeah, just really impressive tech.
Absolutely. I think peripherals aside, this is exactly what we're starting to get into. Game development's just going to get better and better. And Sarah, to your point, to highlight a cool feature here, I think hybrid architecture is definitely what developers can use here to make their lives much more easier. You can hide the windows that you don't really need so that your OS and your different platforms and applications are able to take advantage of what they do need in the front view.
Wow.
And hide or
That
put
was
away
a
the stuff
bit
that
of
you
a
don't
fail
need.
of a presentation, but next time maybe.
Cool use case.
And being able to connect 4, 8, however many we try to
Being
do
able to
clients at the
connect a
same time
keyboard
speeds up our ability
be
to
really
debug
nice
and
too.
get to these nitty-gritty problems that are only showing up for our players. So it's a big deal for us to use Intel's technology for this.
Absolutely, and definitely as part of that hybrid architecture, performance and efficient cores
they
and
just
P&E cores, that's definitely going to come in handy for these types of tasks.
About
And this is in editor, and
nothing
we prepared
really.
a little bit of footage to see what Intel technology is giving Nightingale outside of the editor. Can we run the footage?
Let's see it.
We're going to roll it.
Okay. It is a pretty nice looking game though. Kind of interesting. I know, right? If only this had a 13900K. This is a really nice looking game though. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're by a black hole. Creepy. Gosh. Are those raptors? Is this a Raptor Lake? That's just no raptor. Pretty cool looking game. But they really didn't touch on anything with Intel or Intel technology with that. They didn't even talk about anything really.
That's epic. I caught Pat having a jump scare, but I am so excited to be able to play that.
Yeah, we look forward to you all getting to get to try it soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. This was awesome.
Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Exciting accomplishment with the game coming out, and can't wait because I know end users love it. Our platforms want to consume it.
Speaking of
and deliver
gaming,
it, and
we're number
committed to making
one
all this
with
real.
gaming.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Or is it?
Pat, thank you, Ria.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you just saw, the future of gaming,
Raj is just like,
creative,
thank goodness my
immersive
product wasn't
experiences
the
like
least
that relies
impressive
on performance
presentation.
CPUs and GPUs. And with that, today I am thrilled to
There it is,
reveal
13900K.
the 13th gen Intel
Yeah,
Core desktop processor
there it is.
family.
That's what you have behind your head back there. Very nice.
Formerly known as Raptor Lake, the flagship i9 13900K is coming next month. This is the fastest
Next month,
desktop processor ever built in history, and it takes advantage of our hybrid architecture,
Fastest,
both E
best
and P cores.
in history.
You know, we've enhanced the P core so it has the best single-threaded performance ever, more L2 and L3 cache. We've also increased the number and improved the E-core capabilities for compute-intensive workloads and workflows. Together, the E and P cores work together in a hybrid architecture to deliver the best multi-threaded performance.
We made them into PEPE or PP cores.
5.8 gigahertz.
Whoa,
And the
5.8.
i3 13900K is the best gaming, streaming, and recording experience ever.
Oh. Gaming, streaming, and creating.
But make no mistake, it's the best CPU, but it's also the best platform. And our core processors deliver on the platform value propositions, state-of-the-art wireless, connectivity, advances in memory technology. As always, we are building and leading open platforms with and for the industry. And whether you're a beginner or an expert, the Intel 13th Gen Core delivers the world's best overclocking experience as well.
Best overclocking.
You know, early next year, we'll release a SKU that for the first time ever hits 6 gigahertz out of the box in limited volumes.
Ooh. So 13900K.
A huge milestone for client computing. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when we first crossed 1 gigahertz. Man, you all are blowing me away. You know, 6 gigahertz, what a milestone. Congratulations to our team. But of course, we're not stopping with the K SKU. We're going to give you the full range of PC segments, including mobile. And we expect over 50 processors as part of the Raptor Lake i9 family, or the 13th Gen family. And we have over 500 13th Gen designs.
I'm back, and I think we should definitely get Hawk at that version.
Yes, I think so. Our game is definitely going to take advantage of this. And given the sheer power and unique hybrid architecture that comes with the 13th Gen processors, I think we can say with confidence the gaming challenge is complete, Rhea.
All right.
Thank
you.
No benchmarks? No graphs?
So let's move into our fourth challenge, and this one's for content creators that need a creative boost.
Ooh.
All right, let's do it.
I create content.
So I think
I could use a
need
boost.
to commemorate our time together today, Rhea. And with that, why don't we do a movie poster?
Okay.
Right?
Oh, movie posters.
Pat and Rhea's greatest hits kind of poster. And have you ever seen any of the text-to-image creative platforms?
Well, I've definitely seen it. I could even say you're asking the
Don't
master.
know about that.
I've tried so many different Stable Diffusion models. It's constantly growing.
It's the best.
Definitely something that only
That's all you need to know.
learning enthusiasts can get their hands on. Very hard for content creators to be able to use that technology right away.
Okay, well, AI is unleashing this wide array of new opportunities for the creative process. And John is back on stage to show us some amazing technologies from Habana Labs using Gaudi 2. And maybe we can help create our movie poster, John?
Let's do it. So
All
you
right.
mentioned text-to-image conversion, and we're running a latent diffusion model.
Ooh, I
on
wonder
our
if you can
Gaudi
use
2
this
deep
to
learning
make,
accelerator.
you
Pat,
know,
Rhea, you want to start the creative process?
Well, how
Willem
about movie
Dafoe
poster?
All right,
memes.
I'm doing it.
Willem Dafoe.
Stakes are high.
So the Gaudi 2 is generating 16 images here in just under 3.5 seconds.
This is so
Fantastic.
Okay, well, can we go a little bit further? What do you think, Rhea?
Absolutely. Let's do superhero
Okay.
poster on the fly. Gonna type this out here. Let's see.
Okay, that looks
They're all
better.
Superman.
Okay.
All right.
So, what do you think? Should we take it a little further?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something a little bit more cool.
So maybe, male and female superhero movie?
Yep, absolutely. In the style of Art Deco. And that's going to give us a couple of cool images that the model is trying to generate pretty much real time.
All right.
I like the bottom right.
Good here, John. What do you think,
Like-
Ria?
I think it's great. The speed is phenomenal. It's giving me a lot of inspiration for different ideas. that
Speed's
I can
phenomenal.
use.
Performance is
You know,
weak.
definitely
I
some
mean,
improvements, but and yeah, I think it looks great to me, John. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see designers use this and speed their creativity.
Absolutely.
And, you know, John, I think what we've seen here is the incredible power of the next generation Gaudi processor. And here I have the Gaudi 2 accelerator. This product comfortably outperforms the A100, ResNet 50, BERT models, the June publication this year of the MLPerf benchmarks. You know, and this model we're running is latent diffusion on PyTorch. So what do you think, Ria?
Absolutely. Those words, the machine learning models, they bring joy. So I think
They
this
bring
is fun.
joy.
We're definitely done with this challenge and looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Definitely done
Okay.
with this presentation.
Challenge complete.
Oh my.
Okay, so I think that was a great challenge, but I'm also encountering a little bit of a difficulty, Pat. So something that I really struggle with is you need a lot of devices in order to be able to do this type of content
Oh,
creation
man.
and being able to, you know, train your deep learning models, and those devices don't even talk to each other.
So, you know, I think, Ria, that sounds like a good challenge to me that we can attack this morning.
All right.
You know, and with Centrino, integrated Wi-Fi, we created an industry. And two-in-ones and convertibles, you know, we've just been driving these unique experiences throughout our history. So we start with people, what do they want, and design solutions for them.
Okay, perfect. So here's what I want. Maybe there's a solution out there for me. I need a solution to having to like lug around my very large monitor all the time.
Okay, so, right, making it a lot easier. And, you know, I was in Korea a little while ago, and when I was there with our partner Samsung,
We had
they
delicious
showed me a
fried chicken.
technology that I think might just solve that
Has
problem.
nothing to do with
and
monitors,
I'm
but it's
delighted to
delicious.
welcome the CEO of Samsung Display, J.S. Choi, to stage.
He's really funky. This is like the weakest
I saw this prototype when I was on a trip to
presentation
South
I've ever
Korea,
seen.
and I instantly saw the potential for our platform. And I just wanted to let everybody geek out a bit with JS, Ria, and I. So JS, what do you got here?
Yeah, it's great to be here. So this is a small PC, right? But sometimes we need a bigger screen. So let's see. I'll show you the magic.
What? Oh, it's got like a roll-up screen in it? That is kind of neat.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta play.
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay.
And then he breaks it.
Alright,
He's like,
alright,
oh, okay, stop, please. Don't do too much. This is a prototype. Guys, stop. No. Oh, no.
I'm sure this shows one of the great examples of future trend of PCs. It's because I'm here today to demonstrate this demo. It's very important for Samsung Display to collaborate between ecosystem developers in hardware and software together to achieve this kind of innovative form factor PCs for best user scenarios. So let me have this one. So today we announced world first
You can see the creases on there.
slidable display for PC globally for the first time.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Wow.
That is kind of a neat thing. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this device will satisfy Ria's need for larger screen and also its portability as well. With flexible display, we implemented sliding technology rather than foldable. Foldable is gone, but it's just beginning, right? So
Wait, foldable's
with
gone?
this
Oh, no.
Slidable flex and software collaborations, we expect to see better and best user scenarios of PC near future.
Slidable.
JS,
The
thank
ultimate
you for
flex.
joining
That
us
was
here,
kind of neat.
Right, and as the leading provider
I
of
have to
OLED
admit.
technologies, as many decades of partnership, you know, this just convinces me we got a lot more coming between us. Thank you for joining us, JS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ria.
And I'm assuming I can keep it.
Yeah, he's just taking off without it. They're like, hey,
And again, continuing new form factors We create new SDKs to enable those and find new experiences for our customers and community. And speaking of which, earlier this year at the CES show, we announced our acquisition of Screenovate. And this is, now coming forward.
We had to
as
let other
Intel
companies
Unison.
advertise on their
And to show an
presentation in
example
order
of
to have
Intel
something
Unison,
interesting.
Please
Yep.
join our demo geek, Craig, coming to stage. Craig?
Demo geek. I think they did for sure.
Hello, Ria. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
So,
You could tell I'm a geek
I'm here
by
to
my
show you
hat.
some amazing things that we're going to be doing with Unison.
Okay.
But for the first item, might as well pair some of this amazing software that we have in Unison, with some of this amazing hardware from Samsung Display. Okay, beautiful.
Wait,
But
is he trying to be like,
what we're saying with Unison
what's his
and the
name?
and
Oh,
the
shoot,
promise of Unison is to bring all of our
what's his
devices
name?
together, regardless of ecosystem or how they move and how they interact. All of our smart devices, again, really work
Jeff
for us in
Goldblum.
the way that we want to.
Oh.
And just like you said, Pat, with Intel, we're trying to solve the world's largest problems. Well, Pat and Ria, I have a lot of problems. So,
Wow.
Not
Please,
those type
please,
of problems.
please,
Device problems,
please don't
device
tell us.
problems.
All right.
Similar to something like this, I have my great little Evo PC here, and with just a quick, nice
Evo
little
PC,
tap,
what?
I'm going to go ahead and send it on over to my display. Oh, let's see here.
Oh, my keyboard's not working.
And here we go. Ooh, and I've extended
Ooh.
my display to this nice little 13
Jeff
to
Goldblum.
17-inch
Oh,
device,
wow.
which helps me with a lot of my problems. I like to have
Yeah.
a secondary to screen for a lot of road warriors like us.
Secondary to
and so I
screen?
can take a little 13-inch tablet that I have in my backpack and then turn it into a 17-inch monitor. No back problems, no TSA.
So you're telling me that could I connect like my iPhone to the device or?
Ria, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
All right.
All of your devices. That includes iOS, an Android device like this, all working together for the first time with our Windows PC. So, Ria, your iPhone will be singing and dancing and playing with your Windows PC. Never lose focus. Get all of your notifications, all of your emails, all of your texts, and be able to bring that vision. And that's the dream, right, guys? All of our devices working for us.
Okay.
And we're here to bring that dream to you with Unison.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Unison, that's interesting because then maybe you can use those.
Intel Unison is a new software solution promoting
Intel
this
Unison.
open ecosystem approach.
Interesting.
Solving Ria's problem. Right?
No,
You know,
there
but
is
also
interesting
enabling
use
the
case with this
iPhone
with
for
the
first
Intel
time,
Unison.
interacting seamlessly with the PC,
Is that
all
you could
our
potentially
iOS
use your
Android
iPad
devices,
Pro
and coming
on your
with new
Huion
laptop-
display tablet
laptops
in
this
Windows,
holiday
which would
season
be a
from
very
our
nice use
partners at
case
Acer,
that I can
HP,
think
and
of right off
Lenovo,
the bat.
And this is just the beginning of what we're going to be enabling with Intel Unison. So, what do you think, Ria?
Absolutely. It's astonishing technology. You didn't say no when I asked if I could keep it, so I'm making some assumptions. But I
Get
would
out of
say
here
that
before
this
I
challenge
fire
is
you.
complete.
All right.
Another challenge. Oh no, wait.
Thank you.
And our final challenge of the morning. Sometimes the biggest challenges we face technologies at the pace of change. And we can invent these innovations, but is the market ready for them? And sometimes the technology isn't ready for the market. And for instance, my passion for silicon photonics. And,
Well, our vision is to fully
who started
enable
this?
our chips with optical capabilities, such that our processors today, a piece of silicon, a piece of optics fiber going directly into that.
Oh, young
The
Pat.
result of that will be much higher bandwidth, much higher
He interrupted himself.
communications capabilities at dramatically lower costs. Today, optics is a niche technology.
13900K
Tomorrow, it's
just
the
launched for
mainstream
pre-order
of
on
every chip
Newegg.
that we build.
So that was a video of me 2 decades ago predicting this moment.
Right? And that was the year I was born.
Oh, really?
Wow. Old. She just hit him in the old.
You are killing me. You are killing me.
Yep.
And sometimes innovation takes a little bit longer than we want. Sometimes a decade to make a week of progress, sometimes a week to make a decade of progress.
Absolutely. I love that quote. And I understand it takes a lot of hard work and talent to make these ideas into reality.
Yeah, and at Intel, we invest for the long term. We know that optics, this dramatic amount
Like our
of
14
bandwidth,
nanometer, we invested
moving
for the
from
long term.
photons to electrons, crossing the optical electrical
Okay,
boundary. This was
13900K,
hard. And
950
bringing light and bandwidth
Canadian.
from low power right up to the package. and then scaling it for the
Release
industry
date
to participate
is
in it.
October
So here we
20th,
are,
according to
and
Newegg.
we can now show this breakthrough. Our engineering team has done it, and they've built a detachable optical in-package connector coming directly into a glass substrate. Let's go live to our lab in Scotland and take a look to show it for the very first time. Russell?
Welcome to our lab.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Ria. Welcome, innovation to Scotland.
We're going to be moving sheep pictures from here to there.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry, Scottish people. I just
what we
had
have behind
to.
us is a test and measurement system where we're going to test that detachable connector. So we have on the left-hand side a power meter. So what you're going to see is the power should flick up to the right-hand side. You'll see the needle in the power meter. On the right-hand side, the signal will go from red to green as we make the connection directly to the package with our detachable connector. So what you can see here with John, we have the demo unit here. We have a silicon photonic package. We have optical fiber that runs up through the connector. It's a very small form factor detachable connector. And we're going to measure the light that comes in and out of the silicon photonics chip with this setup, okay? So, first time we've done this live, obviously, so John's going to make the connection now. Keep an eye on the screen. You'll be able to see the numbers as we make the connection.
Looks like the keyboard's not connected. We're having some problems.
Power coming into directly the silicon photonic package.
There you go.
Green
Good
signal.
stuff.
That means we're measuring light all the way through the package. But we have to show that it's also detachable. So we're going to detach it, reattach it again, and we'll be able to show that here now live. Okay, John. So there we go.
Don't screw it up, John.
The signal's dropped off, reattaching it, and now the signal's jumping back up again. Okay?
Very
so
nice.
great result, everybody.
What does that mean, though? We plugged it in. Yay!
Hey, Russell and team, thank you so much. This is exactly how I dreamed of it decades ago. And you guys are now
$5 billion
delivering.
achieving my dream of
Congratulations
plugging
to our
this
team
in.
Scotland.
Thank you.
Love it.
That's great.
And he's like, what? We stayed up late for this?
I can't believe I get to be part of this history-making moment.
Indeed, indeed. So, Ria, thank you for joining me on this journey. In 30 years, when you're on stage as the CEO,
30 years. She's like,
remember to continue
5
to
years
pass
I'll
on
be on
the shared
stage
passion that
as
we
the
have
CEO.
for the world of technology and the enormous positive tech for good impact that it can have.
Oh, absolutely, Pat. And I think on behalf of developers everywhere, we're ready to get these technologies running, working for our workflows, optimized, accelerated, and changing the world.
So maybe a memento for you. Let's sign our poster here that we did.
Okay.
Grab your pen there, and you and I are going to sign it, and we're going to send you off here, right? This first superhero moment, right?
Well.
Gonna add a smiley.
All right. There we go. Let's say thank you to Ria for joining us.
Thank you, Ria. She actually is like one of the most naturally personable people on stage the entire time. I feel like she should be like running their presentations from now on.
So throughout our time together this morning, we've talked about our commitment to being open, systems and software and hardware standards. And our collective potential as an industry is unleashed when we enable openness, choice, and trust. So to close out, I want to bring on stage a special guest, someone that I have personally admired for decades, a no bigger champion of open collaborative ecosystems, the godfather of the open source movement, the creator of Linux kernel and of Git. Please join me in welcoming none other than Linus Torvalds.
Wait, isn't this the guy that flicked off Intel?
Hi, Pat. Thanks.
Linus, it is so great to have you at Intel Innovation. We've both been around the industry a few years.
Yep.
And you remember this?
I do remember that. I lost my own copy a few years ago, apparently.
Well, today we are fixing that.
Yeah.
I've signed this for you here.
Thanks.
And when I wrote this book, it was the Bible for the 83, 86, and this was really your beginning.
Literally, this was the thing I used on the project that wasn't Linux yet. Before I actually started doing an operating system, I was really just trying to learn about the new PC I'd bought. And this was the CPU side of that journey, right? And it took a while.
I'm hoping
to
the shady
learn
crap that
CPU and
Intel does is
realize that what I'm
behind them,
actually writing
for the
is
most
an
part.
operating system. So this, in a sense, predates my Linux work, but was very integral to it.
Yeah, and maybe you could just take us back to 1991 when you were first getting started on the project, and tell us a little bit about that.
So it's hard to even think back now because it
Old
was
and
different
I
for
can't
me.
remember things.
I came from a home PC kind of background and did not know the x86 architecture at all, but decided that this was the way into it, and bought my first 386 and couldn't afford the commercial Unixes I wanted.
Ah.
And
So you were cheap.
I was cheap.
Or broke.
No, I prefer the word poor.
Poor. Okay.
Poor.
And
Cheap implies there was a choice.
I've grown up with computers since I was about 11 and was used to just writing my own projects. So the fact that I could not afford Unix myself, and I had this shiny new PC, and I had been exploring the CPU side of it, and because the 386 has the task switching hardware built in, it had been one of the things I'd been exploring. And when you do task switching and do all the low-level grotty paging details that this book
Simply
literally
intriguing.
goes through and explains, you kind of end up with a project that is the beginning of a kernel.
Yeah, looks like an operating system. Yeah. So here we are today. Tell us, what are the must-dos for a thriving open source ecosystem?
I think the must-do, one thing I really strive for is to make sure that people feel like they are part of, I don't want to say the community. I mean, it is part of the community, but they're part of making decisions, and they really own the end result.
Invested in it.
They're invested in it. And it's obviously why I chose the license I chose, making sure that I don't have any special rights. And I really love open source. I love working in a community where it's about open discussion and really getting things done together. And that's actually surprising to me, even now, because I always, and I still feel that I'm not a people person. But at the same time...
I've heard that criticism of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not the only one who thinks I'm not a people person. But at the same time, it's been what has really motivated me for the last 30 plus years.
So let's go forward, 10, 20 years. What's your vision for open source in the future?
Yeah, no, this is not me. I'm not a visionary. I call myself a plodding engineer.
Plodding engineer.
And I say that with pride. I think you need the people who have the big ideas, but you definitely, in engineering, a lot of it is getting all the small details right and looking at in front of your feet instead of looking 20 years out. So I look a couple of releases ahead, and I kind of have a notion of what's coming, but my horizon is about 6 months away, not 20 years away.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Linus Torvalds, my favorite plodding engineer.
Thank you, Pat.
Roger's just crying in the seats. I thought I was your favorite.
Your career, your impact, the industry that you've affected is nothing short of spectacular, Linus. And I mean, you and I, we're not finished yet. We got a lot of time in front of us yet.
I bet you everybody's wishing you'd be finished right now, Pat. Come on.
Of your contributions
TikTok.
For many, many years to come. And it's with that in mind that today we are honored to give you and recognize you and our community as we come here together, right? We would like to say that you are the first recipient of the first ever Intel Innovation Award.
Whoa. Intel Innovation Lifetime Achievement Award. There you go.
Thank you, Pat.
I'll put it by my toilet where I'll read this
textbook. I don't know what to say. That is actually very nice and classy. we had a water bottle as a stand-in yesterday during the rehearsal.
This was a little nicer,
which wasn't so nice and classy.
And while I was absolutely thrilled to have this conversation with Linus and I this morning, we recorded a long interview yesterday. We'll be posting that on our website. And truly, I couldn't think of a more honoring person for an open community than Linus Torvalds. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Left his book and took his award.
We've had an incredible morning together, but this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. In the next 2 days, labs, demos, show floor, cool, geeky things that we're going to do. I encourage you to sign up for the Developer Cloud, download our One API toolkit, and engage with us, because our objective here is that developers, whether software or hardware, you see the future, and our job at Intel is to open that future up to you, working together on open frameworks that you can trust. I'm excited we've had the opportunity to come together to learn, grow, build, challenge, and help each other. And together, we've taken a peek into the future, one that we will create together. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. Oh, man. Well, I believe that is it. Everybody's getting up. Everybody's walking out. And that is that. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. This was a treat indeed. I think we will have to wait for benchmarks, obviously, with 13900K. I think it might be better at the end of the day that, these presentations with new products don't really include benchmarks from the manufacturer, just because nobody really takes them seriously anymore. It's more so just like, let's wait until we have the reviewers' benchmarks in hand. So I'm pretty excited for 13900K, just to see how that stacks up against the new 7000 series CPUs. A770, let's see, October 12th, reviews when those go live. We'll see if that has actually lived up to its promise of being competitive with the 3070, 3060 Ti. Pricing looks to be all right, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be difficult to sell too many of them, but we'll see. We shall see. Interesting though, I think Intel needs to work a lot on their presentations, not gonna lie. I think AMD is probably having the best presentations these days as far as their structure and engagement. I think Intel needs to sort of find their flow and to maybe connect a few more people on stage, maybe have a few, not more people, but maybe more people from Intel. A few of those presentations felt like they didn't have a lot of substance to them. And not only that, but they didn't really tell you anything. So, like making a movie poster, securing images, it just felt like very like exceptionally fluffy. Like you expect it to be fluffy, but like it felt exceptionally fluffy. Very little hard information. A few interesting things. That Intel Unison looks kind of interesting. Like I said, use case scenario of finally being able to connect your Apple iPad Pro to an external display might actually be a really incredible use case for that, because I know Apple's super strict about that sort of stuff, but Intel, if they've got a solution for that, that might be an actual use case for that. So I think though we're gonna close it off with that, and I'm gonna say thank you to Fruita Palm for hanging out and Captain D for chilling in the chat with us, and I'm excited for those. According to Newegg, release date for that 13900K is October 20th, 2022. So we shall see. Price is $950. So we'll find out all that jazz. And again, I want to say thank you everyone for joining me. Anybody who hopped on the stream afterwards and checked it out, thanks again. Please do like, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Perhaps we will have a gaming. Yes, we will have a gaming stream this Friday. So please join us for that. And I'll see you guys then. All right. All right. See ya later.